How do you discover beauty in something so mundane, when each passing day feels like a repeat of the last? It's a difficult thing to find, but it is possible. My day begins at a golden hour. Usually that term is used to describe a sunset, but to me, it's the orange glow of a calm morning. I get ready for my shift, stretching each limb as I change into my work clothes. Black shirt, black jeans, baseball cap. A monochromatic outfit on a daily basis. As I exit my room, the sunrise glimmers on the stained glass window of my front door. It projects a crystallized shape, creating a transcendent reflection for a short amount of time before the light fades away. I stop for a minute to observe the temporary sight. A rainbow spectrum wraps around my hand, and with that, my day begins. The Valley, a labyrinth designed to trap you in its uneventful cycle of nothingness. The streets are quiet, a moment of peace before the rest of the town wakes up. I make my way down to the main street on a road that I've driven on countless times. By now, I can close my eyes and tell when the lines of white oak trees end, just before reaching the intersection. This is my slice of suburbia, a radius of 1 mile extending from my house to my work. Back and forth, nothing else. I work at a local family-owned coffee shop, a job I've had since 2017. To me, it feels like second nature at this point, falling into a routine of sorts as my shift begins. I've become accustomed to the familiar sounds of a cafe kitchen. Espresso being poured, fraps being blended, bacon being cooked, all occurring simultaneously in their own symphony. These are the people I work with. Most people I know who are in food service tend to hate their coworkers, but it's quite the opposite for me. The employees at our coffee shop are some of the best people I've met. They shine a light, even on the darkest days, just by their presence alone. And with that, the time flies by as we grind ourselves towards our closing hour. We lock up afterwards, but the day is still young with time to kill. So I hop in my car and I drive off. I make my way around the different streets, focusing on the offices and stores that I used to pass by every day. Although nothing changed physically, the buildings present themselves as exterior shells from a valley lost to time itself. Time we took for granted. It makes you see things from an objective point of view, like an outsider looking into the collection of areas that breathe life into this massive town. Even though they look as they always have, it just doesn't feel the same way anymore. This period we're living in, it's an entirely different world. When the pandemic first started, I didn't know what to make of this new normal. There was always this uncertainty when faced with the realization that our future was put on hold indefinitely. The days started to blend together, and the spark that made life exciting seemed to have fizzled out entirely. It was yet another labyrinth within the one already surrounding me. For a while, I had this fear that we would never go back to the way things were. And it scared me. It completely terrified me to think that it wouldn't get better, and the glory days we thought were only beginning ended up cutting themselves short. Eventually, life became black and white. When the sun begins to set, the view from my window frames a muted color in the sky. A contrast from the vibrant ray of sunshine in the morning. It's my least favorite time, as it feels like the conclusion to a day you'll end up either remembering or forgetting about completely when morning comes. Lately, it's been the latter. Nothing of significance happens. So instead, I turn to the archives of a time I do remember. I've always been a believer in documenting as much of life as possible. There's an argument to be made that you'd miss out on the little things when trying to capture them through a screen. But I disagree. I think that photos and videos are crucial in preserving those small moments. Especially in a time like now, it's those types of memories that can take us back to a happier place that seemed forever ago. As I reminisce on the past, I'm reminded that whatever happens, I'm lucky enough to have those I hold so close to my heart to get me through it all. And just like that, the future doesn't look so bleak anymore. Life has color again. I look out into this town, the town I've known all my life. I've lived in the San Fernando Valley since I was 5, entering that labyrinth at a young age and remaining stuck until this point. But with the future still so uncertain, I feared that my time here wasn't going to end anytime soon. So I decided to take another look at the town I've grown tired of. It was time to revise my perspective. It's not something that comes all of a sudden, but rather gradually as you get older and wiser. And to this day, I'm still learning to accept that change. I look out into this town, the town that made me who I am. Now, the same locations that I've encountered thousands of times start to look a bit more nostalgic. I often ponder about what it would have been like to live here at a different point in time, the different life I would have lived, the different friends I would have made, the different highs and lows of growing up, but all in the same places. Sure, things may never go back to the way they were, but I guess that's just the beauty of life itself. We evolve and learn and better ourselves with every passing day. Even if it's the same thing over and over again. I look out into this town, the town that I will always admire. From up here, everything looks so small, contained by the mountains surrounding us from a much bigger world. I find solace in that thought now, instead of melancholy. It's a kind of reassurance that no matter how much I find myself at odds with this valley, no matter how many times I've wanted to find myself somewhere new, I'll always have this place to come back to. Because even though we're only temporary, our stories live on within the little world we made for ourselves. It's the people we love and continue to love. It's the lessons we've learned and are continuing to learn. It's the lockbox filled with memories, both good and bad. It's home.